Well, look at this. I know Tristan found some male lions. We have one. Hello. Pop your head up. Beautiful specimen of a lion. And he's just heard something. Now, I have no idea who this lion is or who his friends are, because there's not one, but 5. We set out looking for 5 cheetah. Instead, we've found 5 male lions, and possibly one of the strangest looking lions I've seen. He's got his back to us. Let's just drive around. I want to show you his face. Now, when I first saw him, I thought he was a little young male. But he looks as big as the others. He just looks like someone went at him with a hair shaver and shaved his mane. He's big in body. Hey, boys. Oh, look at that. Look at these 3 in a row. Now you all have to turn your head at the same time. Oh, only one. Oh, he's a bit angry. Look at that. Perfectly in a row. 3 beautiful big boys. Still a little bit young. I think we might have a very interesting situation going here. I almost think the funny-looking male off to the right is possibly trying to join a coalition. These aren't the dominant males I've seen in this area before. Now look how funny it is. It looks like someone's just taken a hair shaver to him. Now he's big. Donald is wondering, are lions aware of their surroundings when they're asleep? He's just talking. I think he might be trying to join this coalition. That is one possibility. As you can see, he almost looks maybe like a teddy bear. Big fluffy teddy bear. It really looks like someone shaved his hair, shaved his mane. It's all uniform length and perfectly manicured. So, Donald, yes, Donald was wondering, are lions aware of their surroundings when they're asleep? They are. They will wake up when they hear something or whatnot. Now, he looks like he's been whacked a bit last night. He's got quite a lot of fresh wounds and bite marks. So I don't think these are the dominant males that I've seen in this area before. I'm at the top end of the Ronkai. But there are exquisite males. I don't know if they've just moved into this area. And this fluffy lion is trying to join the coalition. Now, sometimes when joining coalitions, you do get beaten up. But, of course, the long-term rewards are worthwhile. There is obviously the other option that he could be... He looks too old to be one of their sons. I mean, you can see that it's just a strange mane, I think. Very interesting. Come wide, Sib. It looks like this other male might give him a bit of a hiding. Then say hello to his friends first. Becca is wondering whether unrelated males will join a coalition. Becca, in certain areas, everyone assumes that all male coalitions are related. See, I think they're growling at him, not at us. Oh, he gave a little growl back. This is very interesting. So, Becca, yes, a lot of coalitions are formed from unrelated males. I think we could get a lion fight here. I think my plans have changed. I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. I might look for the cheetah a bit later, but this is fascinating. This is not something you get to see every day. So I don't think it's their son. I do think it's a male possibly trying to join the coalition or has run into these 4 boys. And if we look at his back leg of the fluffy lion. Now, if any of you guys, you can see, those are all relatively fresh bite marks. Now, I think a lot of the action might have happened during the night, but it doesn't mean it's over just yet. This is fascinating to watch. Now, if you come out, Seb, and we have a look in the ground over here, you can actually see where there's been fights and scuffles.
Oh yeah.
You can see on the ground that there's been some definite action around here during the night. Now, joining a coalition isn't always the easiest thing. Sometimes it does take a bit of beating up to sort of prove your worth. You can see there's some wildebeest in the background just watching. And the lions seem far more preoccupied with each other. Now, if old Fluffy fails to... he thought he was going to get up. No, he's going to lie down flat. But every time he moves, there's a little from one of the older males, or one of the definite coalition, just from the way they're lying, and he's 5 meters away. This is very, very interesting. Beautiful sky as well. It seems like they're all calmed down a little bit for now. And of course we know that can change in an absolute split second, especially with male lions. Ooh. I know ambulance is up, but it might be a bit too far. You can hear what sounds like a lion roaring in the distance. And it's not, it's an ostrich.
I don't know if we're picking it up.
Alright, stop now. Of course, there's always some comfort in being 4 as opposed to 1, and you can see he's sleeping very, very comfortably. I didn't do it is wondering, would the 4 lions kill the other one? There is a possibility. If the fight got heated enough, one bite along the spine or it could easily kill another lion. Male lions, when they do fight, it is very, very, very spectacular. However, they are hesitant to go full fighting, especially if these are not males that are dominating over territories and prides yet, because of the injury. You can see there we go, some more fresh wounds on his back. They might injure themselves very badly as well. But yes, male lions definitely do kill other male lions. But a lot of this lion's movements are quite submissive. Let me in, guys. I want to be part of the club. Please, look, guys. I'll be such a good boy. I'll do all the main fighting for you. Now, MJ is wondering, how long does it usually take for a male lion to join a coalition? A couple of days sometimes, but normally into weeks, or 10 days to 2 weeks, hanging around the peripheries of a coalition, acting submissive, and just like that, and just generally being around and taking the beatings when they come, and giving enough back to show that it's worthwhile for these lions to let him into the coalition, that he'll be a value adding member. There's ostrich calling again. It's far away though. Michelle is saying, is it unusual for him to stay after a fight? Michelle, not if he's trying to join this coalition of 4 males. He will hang around until either they beat him too badly that he decides the risk is not worth the reward, or eventually he is accepted into the coalition. Before he's fully accepted, it'll be sometimes a month or 2, but normally about 7 to 14 days for him to really ingrate himself and be sort of marginally accepted. Now I hear lions in the distance. Maybe that'll spark these boys to start roaring. Far away towards the Talek River. And only one male seems to be paying attention. So I'm just listening. Oh, look at that sky, it's stunning as well. It's just... Let's see, I'm going to move around to see the other boys' faces to see if they've got any distinguishing scars. Okay, so I'm definitely going to stay with these 5 boys for a little bit longer, see if anything happens. While we do that, let's shoot all the way back to the Greater Kruger. And quick link, and Facebook Live. Guys, look at this. The 4 males have suddenly stood up. Wasn't that incredible? I didn't say anything so you could hear those amazing sounds. This is live from the Masai Mara. We have a young male lion trying to join the coalition of 4 older males, and they are giving him a really hard time. And he's going to keep trying to join them. Wasn't that amazing? My name's Brent, Seb's on camera. This is Seb's first male lion fight. Those sounds just go straight through you. Now, the 4 males are moving away. It's going to be very interesting to see what the younger one, what the smaller male does. Is he going to continue to try follow them, to join their band of brothers? Now, for him, as a single male lion, it is worth sometimes taking those beatings to be able to join a group of 4 males. It means he's going to have a lot better chance at surviving out in this fierce land that is the Masai Mara. If he's by himself and he gets older, he might join or might come across a group of 4 older males that hold territory already, and that would be the end of him. Now, at the moment, it looks to be quite a bit of sort of testing. Is he worth it? Is he going to be a good member to join the coalition? And now the other 3 of the males walked off. 1 is still sitting there. So if he follows them, he could be still trying to join them. Now, this could have been going on for a couple of days already, and sometimes it can take 7 days to 14 days for a coalition to allow a new member in. Now, I don't think he's too much younger than them. He's just got a very, very strange mane. It looks like someone gave him a crew cut. But he is a very beautiful looking lion. Now, they were all lying opposite each other, about 5 meters from each other, in absolute... Look at the drool coming off his chin after that fight. X-Ranger is wondering, would his short mane play any part in him being accepted into the coalition or not? I don't think so. I think it'd be more his how he stands up to the beatings he's been taking. And when I look at the ground around, I can see this has been going on all night. I can see lots of different broken up pieces of ground where the lions have been fighting throughout the night. And he's sporting a lot of fresh wounds on his back. We can't really see them at the moment, just with the way he's lying. Oh, sorry, that's my hand. I'm being attacked by biting midges. There's this whole swarm of these very bad little midges that actually sting. They've got a little bit of formic acid in them, so it's quite painful. But don't worry, I'll live through it to bring you this. I just want to move on to the other side of the lions. Megan says, do they have to fight to join? Unless they come into contact with each other when they're all just leaving their natal prides, yes, there will always be fighting for them to join. So I'm going to see if we can see if they've opened up any fresh wounds on his back. So you can see his back is a myriad of scars. Oh, there is a fresh wound that's been opened up. You can see there's a bit of blood coming down. Now, what is incredible about these creatures is they do have the most resilient of immune systems. Now, Charlotte is wondering, will the older boys kill him? Not necessarily, Charlotte. I don't think any of these males have their own territory yet. So they're nomadic, although the four look like they're in the perfect sort of age to start taking over from other males. If I remember correctly, this area has got 2 big older males, so a group of 4 young males coming in would be quite a big threat. You can see the Thompson's gazelles getting far away from those big boys as they march down towards the top end of the Ronkai River. Off they go. Oh, flop down. Now you can see that's very, very important coalition behavior. Oh, isn't that incredible? So lying on top of each other like that is part of ensuring those bonds are very close between the males. Now, there's one male that looks a bit older than the other 3, and so they could be related, they might not be. It is not uncommon for male lion coalitions not to be related. And I think that's what's happening here with this little guy trying to join, and he's got to prove his mettle. There's the last of the 4 older males moving. Now, Nicole wants to know, how will we know if he gets accepted into the coalition? Well, it's going to take a while. What's going to be very interesting now, as the last of those big feet head off to the north, is whether he gets up to follow them. So if he gets up to follow them, he's going to continue to try and join this coalition of 4 males. If he doesn't, it means he's probably decided the risk isn't worth the reward. So here he is, a little bit worse for wear, watching as those other males leave. So, as I say, whether he gets up to follow or not is going to be very, very interesting. Now, isn't this incredible? Remember, this is 100% live from the Masai Mara in Kenya. It looks like he might be wanting to get up. Just watching the movements on his body. And Sebastian has just been attacked by the biting midges, so that is them trying to get them away from his mouth. They have decided that we are very tasty this morning. So he's still watching them disappear. Is he going to join them, or is he going to take this opportunity to maybe try and move away and not take another beating? Hi, Tracy. Tracy's asking, do no lions stand a chance on their own? Tracy, they do. So what happens, well, in an area like this where big coalitions are the most common thing and they dominate the majority of the Mara, if you are a single lion who doesn't manage to join one of those coalitions, there is a way for you to pass on your genetic code, and it's to become a very sneaky lion and a nomadic lion. So what will happen is when there's a female in estrus, you'll hang around the edge, mate with her quickly, and then disappear before the dominant males find you. And in certain areas of Africa, up to 45% of the cubs are actually not born to the pride males. They're born to those sneaky males who haven't been able to join a coalition and work around the peripheries of the bigger prides and the bigger male coalitions. And they actually are quite successful because a lion is programmed to eat and pass on his genetic code. So the fighting and all that is all tied into both of those things. They'll fight over food and they'll fight over mating rights. Now, with the male lions like this, there are 4 of them, so they're already a nice big coalition, so they're quite strong, and you can see from the way they were lying on each other, those bonds between those 4 males are very, very strong. So they've probably, if they're not related, they've been together a long time, at least 2 or 3 years. Where there is this guy, you can see he's just trying to join. Now the lions are getting a little bit further away, so he looks like he keeps wanting to get up to join them. Elizabeth saying if one accepts him, we'll all accept him. Elizabeth, very difficult to say. I think he would need to be... There would be others that are more tolerant in the beginning and some that are not. So if he is tolerated by 1 or 2 of them, he could definitely make his way into the coalition eventually. Roshni is wondering, why would females encourage nomadic lions to mate with them? I don't think they encourage it. It's ingrained in them. It is to do with genetic diversity, especially in areas where you've got big coalitions of males that dominate over prides for a long time. They often end up mating with their daughters. So it is a way to make sure that there is new blood and new genetic diversity coming into the pride, even if they are stuck with the same males for an extended period of time. Normally, male lions will 4, 5 years at the top, and that's sort of to coincide with when their first set of cubs becomes sexually mature. So they're then pushed out normally by new males, and so the mating will be with new males and not with their fathers. However, in areas where you have big coalitions, there is often an overlap, and there will not always, but quite often be a generation of cubs that have been sired or by their fathers. So they're both their father and grandfather. So let me just get this right, yes. So basically the fathers will mate with their daughters, and there will be that generation that is inbred. Now, that's not the biggest problem with lions. Lions are able to inbreed up to about 4 or 5 generations without any adverse effects. Now, he's still watching them, but I'll show you quickly what Sebastian and I are hiding from, why I've got so much stuff around me. And you can see these tiny little things. You wouldn't think that they are terrible, but they sting like anything. And this tiny, there's some making new tiny stinging things. You can see the females are slightly orange, and the males... Oh, can't get there, sorry. Well,
I can go where I am now.
Okay, well, let's have a look back at our male. But so the female of these biting midges are orange and the males are black, and basically there's piles of males all over the females. So, oh, he's starting to call a little bit. He just did a soft contact call. So he definitely wants to join them. But now you can see he's sort of going through the motions. Was the beating worth being able to join this large coalition of males? He just keeps looking like he's about to move. We're just going to wait a little bit to see if he does get up to join them. Now, it is an absolutely stunning morning in the Mara. And we were very lucky. We spotted these guys from quite far away. And we set out looking for 5 cheetahs, and we found 5 male lions. And that's the way it goes when you're live in the African bush. We never know what is going to be around the next corner. Here we go. He's showing signs that he might move. You can see, there we go, he's up. Oh, he's got a bit of a sore foot from that last beating. Oh, he's going to lie down again. So, obviously he got bitten. It looked quite high up on the leg that's causing him to not use that leg. And, oh, does he got a new cut on his face as well? On the left side. Oh, turn your head, other way. You can see him licking like that. It might mean he's going to try clean the wounds a little bit. So that's the one that's obviously causing the most pain at the moment. Now, it might seem really, really harsh to us watching, but this is nature unfolding as it has for hundreds of thousands of years on these open plains. Oh, he looks to have kept his face reasonably pretty. I just wanted him to turn his head to the... Oh no, he's managed to keep his face relatively pretty. Now, Aubrey's wondering, what is the success rate of males joining a coalition? I'm not sure, Aubrey. I haven't seen it enough times to know. And often you will only see the male coalitions once they've already formed. Oh, look at those eyes. So it is quite difficult to say. I will do some research on it and try to find out. But the only way to really do it is to find, don't take your aggression out on us. We didn't do anything to you. So quite often with animals, specifically after things like that, what he's displaying now is misplaced aggression at the vehicle. It's not serious, but because he's got such a hiding from those other males, he gave us a little growl and a little raise of the lip. Don't worry, we're not in any danger, and it's just the fact that he needs to sort of maybe save some face for someone, and it happens to be us. Donald is wondering, is it possible that the coalition ripped this one's mane apart? I don't think so, Donald. I just think he's got a funny mane. So all lions have had different manes. I've seen a male lion that only has a mane on the bottom and nothing up on top. He was bald up on top. So every male lion has a slightly different mane. And this guy, actually, I quite like his crew cut. It's quite pretty. Well, it looks like he's not going to follow the males now. He might definitely wait and try follow them again a little bit later, but it looks like he's going to lie down and try recover a little bit from his injuries. You can see there's even bites on the inside of his leg. Oh, he popped it down again. But that is one of the areas that male lions will go for during a fight. The mane is there to protect the throat and that area. So often male lions, if they can get into the back legs, and particularly if they can get under and onto the soft area of the stomach, that's where male lion fights can do a lot of damage. It looks like he's going to lift his leg, and then there we go. You can see a little bit higher. You see there's bites all in there, and you see the blood. So it is an area that is quite vulnerable in lions, particularly when they are fighting. Now, I think those other males haven't moved off too far. I think they're probably going to have a snooze in the trees. I've lost sight of them now. They've moved into some little thickets. But we're going to sit with this guy a bit longer, see if he does decide to follow the rest of the coalition. Oh. Are you going to move? But remember, we could go live at any time, so keep a lookout. If he does decide to follow those males, we'll follow him, and we will bring it to you as soon as it happens. So from myself, Brent and Seb, and this gorgeous crew-cut male lion, who's hoping to join those other 4, hopefully we will see you a little later. Wow, guys, wasn't that incredible? This is fascinating behavior. I've only ever seen it twice before, and that's why it took me a little while to decide whether he was trying to join the coalition or not. I think he still might move towards where those males have gone into the lugger. We're going to have to wait and see. At the moment, I think he's just licking his wounds. Shame, boy. I don't know. I think I'm developing a soft spot just because of that funny mane of his.
Me too.
Seb as well. I really want to see what this guy gets up to. I hope he does manage to join that coalition. Another coalition of 5 males. That will be incredibly impressive. Oh, here we go. He's going to try to sit up. It looks like he took a bad bite on his back left leg. Now, of course, I don't think it's life-threatening at all. Just sore. You can see he's really trying not to put any pressure on it, but he is slowly, well, it looked like he was going to slowly hop towards the other males, and he's decided he's going to take another break. Oh, it looks like the other males have actually crossed the lugger. Just one of them popped out of the trees now, way in the distance there. See him, Seb?
That's it.
Where's that tree? Now, if you go from that tree a little bit to the left, wait, he was a little bit more, and he just popped behind a bush again. Let me just double check.
Oh, I've got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, yeah. Well, that's actually a different one to the one I saw. Well, there are 4 of them after all. Now, it's a cool morning. So they could cover a bit of distance. They might have been trying to get away from this young male, or I don't think he's that young though, I just think he's got a strange mane. Been trying to get away from him for quite some time. He can definitely see them. He's actually watching that one that we were watching as well, and it's disappeared onto the other side. They are all hungry, all 5 of them. And there are the loiter herd of wildebeest are still around in this area. So not the migration that goes through to the Serengeti, but the local Kenyan migration. Oh, and we've had big cat action. And I just spotted something for the birders. Right opposite me there.